guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to my rescheduled Facebook Live video. So it is Friday here in Australia. If you are catching it on the replay or you are in another country in the world, welcome to my Friday lunchtime. I am here to play with another Christmas card that I have shared recently in person with some of my people. Thanks for joining, Sandy and Pamela. And we are using the In the Pines. Oh, hold on, the one thing I forgot to do, flip myself around so you can see what I'm showing you. There we go. The In the Pines stamp set. Hey Delinda, the In the Pines stamp set, the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder, which we'll be using. We are also playing with two of the colors of the brushed metallic paper. So if I tilt it, hey Susan, so if I tilt it you can see that brush texture. I've also grabbed out the gold hoops, So a different way of using the gold hoops to what I've used them before. We're not exactly making a wreath like I did last time with the doves. So I use and it is called the Dove of Hope. I've also grabbed out the Pick-a-Punch banners, which is in the holiday catalogue. This is actually pretty much exclusively a holiday catalogue card, except for the ink, the Stamparatus, and the ribbon. So I suppose you may want to see the card. Hey Paula, thanks for joining. So this is the card that we are making. So you girls all chose on Tuesday. Well, a lot of you chose for me to show you the metallic card. So that's the card we're making. So thank you everyone for joining. I truly appreciate you guys being here and me not crafting alone. Although I craft alone all the time. I just like chatting. I'm a bit of a chatty person, if you hadn't have already realized. If you haven't already, please consider liking or subscribing if you're watching me on Facebook. Hello to Shelley and Pamela, thanks for joining. I am 140 people away from getting to 1,000 on YouTube. So I can go live over there as well as here on Facebook. So my plan is to go live twice. Yes, Jamie is okay. She now has full-time employment and she's working hard. So she's back to being a working girl rather than a crafting mum girl, which is why she doesn't join, and I generally don't do them on the weekend because that's kind of my family creating myself and everything else in the lifetime. So yes, that's why Jamie doesn't pop in. Hey Kathy, thanks. I'm glad you girls like this card. So my plan is when I get to 1,000 people on YouTube, which allows me to go live on my mobile device, is doing one YouTube live a week and one Facebook live a week, and I'll still post every day here on Facebook as I always do now. Yes, I will. She does watch the replays, so she will know that you've asked about her. She did pop in sneakily on Tuesday. I know you girls love YouTube, and I'm getting there. I'm just not quite there yet. Just that close. Hey Susan. So I have a bit of a mess because I have various cards in various states of completeness. Hey Teresa. So let's flip us around, see where I'm at with all the cards that I've part made and half made, and we can go from there. And there will be one card that I have all the supplies cut that we will make. And I need to get up my video and I need to turn off my overhead lights so we don't have any nasty shadows during the thing. I know. You like to watch Everyone Everywhere. Sorry, I have to move and put the lid on my drink bottle, otherwise everything may end in a watery disaster. So we did have a lovely bright morning here, and it appears to have come over quite overcast at the moment, which is a bit sad. We've had rain all week. So, hey Margine, I swear I saw you just jump in. Yes, I lost my comments for a second. Flip, thank you. Hello, Miss Cindy. No church meetings today, madam. Let's see if I am the right way. Yes, I am. I appear to be fairly on the money and straight. Let's see if I can get up this second screen while I go and get rid of the nasty shadows. Okay, we should be back. That screen has just flipped around. I am muted. How good is that? Hello, Miss Barbara. Okay, we are looking really good today, and everyone, you girls are looking amazing as always. I think I'm going to turn off my little heater. My legs were a bit cold earlier. So we have our stamp set, which is in the pines. We have our embossing folder, which is the Evergreen Forest, and I swear we only used that last week in my put together card, but I do love it, so I'm going to grab it out. We have our finished card, which I'll just pop up there for the moment. We've got our gold hoops, just to show you. They come in a pack of 10. I just pop them in our medium clear envelopes with the backing, just so they're easier for me to grab. And I do have another whole pack ready to pop in because I've only got a few left after a few classes. I will show you that paper in a second. So these elements are partially done. So that is ribbon, hoop, and our trees. Sorry, just this is almost completed card. These go with this. Just let me see here. Oh, see, I just need to glue this card together. So what I might do is I might pop all these almost completed bits in the envelope here, so then I don't get myself all kerfuffled. So then we try and be nice, neat and tidy and not have any crafter-lanches. But a crafter-lanche is inevitable. So these are our pieces. I did want to grab out our brushed metallic paper and just show you, because it comes with 3 colours. So 2 of the colours I'm undecided about which one's which. So we have our gold, we have bronze and copper, but I can't decide between these 2 which is bronze and which is copper, but we do have our 3. So we have our gold, we have our bronze and our copper and our bronze, whichever way you want to see it. So because our gold hoop is gold, oh, I almost dropped that on the ground. I haven't used the gold in this card. I have used the lighter and the darker bronze and copper to make these cards. So you will see one in copper and you will see one in the lighter colour. Thank you so much for sharing. Hey Ellen, watching for a few till your next Zoom event. I love that you are so in demand, Cindy, because you are the hoot of any in-person or Zoom meeting where we can see you. I love your energy. It's so infectious. And you're so cheeky, which I love as well. So the two colours we are using to showcase the metallics in this card are Just Jade and Misty Moonlight. These two colours are our 2020 to 2022 in colours, and I had one of my team members on the weekend remark, Ellen, I never would have put these two cards together for a Christmas card. The words out of my mouth were, do you like it? She goes, yeah, I actually do. So I like stretching colour combinations. Yeah, good. I'm glad you like them together there. So I am going to grab out my ever useful Stamparatus, and if Kelly pops in or sees this on the replay, she will be very impressed that I have used my Stamparatus. And I had these two lovelies back to back, which you shouldn't. So these are the dies that go with the In the Pines stamp set, and these are called Pine Woods. So what I have used, and I'll pop the card over here, I've used these three trees here to die cut this out. Because I was in a class, and I'm missing no, I'm not, it's here on the back. Because I made so many of this card, we did use the Stamparatus, and I have a jig. Of course I have a jig. So this is the jig I made to fit in our little, it's actually 4 trees, but in the die cut, it actually looks like 3, but there's 1, 2, 3 big trees and 1 little tree that only shows up on one of the stamps, and I shall explain in a second. And I want to start with my watercolored shadowy fill-in background. So let me show you these 2 images. So we have 3, which are our 3 big trees, and they have the nice fill-in shadow image. But when we add the outline, there is a 4th just outline tree that sits behind them. So you'll understand in a second when I'm going to pop these to the top here for a second, but you will understand momentarily. So we're going to do the background of our trees, or the fill-in pieces. Hello, Miss Carol. In Just Jade. Now, these are distinctive images. Now, what that means is you get a varied, and you might be able to see me inking it up here, and what I will do is actually bring it closer to the screen and put my hand underneath so you can see that's all linked up, and you have different color variances, and that's by the way they've designed the stamp, that some areas are going to be darker than the others, so it's duplicating 2-step stamping in one stamped image. So we just pop that down, lift that up, and you can see here you've got the variances. Okay, now I'm going to hope against all hope that my chamois has enough residual dampness in it that I can just clean that off, which I can. I have to do a load of towels, and I'm going to throw these in with the towels when I do them after this live. I've got to do the towels, and I've got to wipe down the kitchen and vacuum. They are my things. Hey France, thanks for joining. Haven't seen you for a while, or it feels like it. Oh, thank you, Delinda. It is, part of this is like the the hoop part is casing the catalogue, and then I sort of took it from there. Hello, Miss Allison. So yeah, that was cased from the catalogue, and then I took it in a different direction to what was in the catalogue. So there is always inspiration to be had in our catalogues. Now these outline images are just solid. There is none of the detail in these images. And ta-da, that is our trees stamped. Now, while I have the Misty Moonlight open, I'm going to pop this here in the pile. I'm going to wipe this off, so then I'm not, if I touch it again, or when I touch it again, I'm not going to get inky fingers. Okay, oh, that stinks a bit too. Okay, that's what happens when you don't properly store your sugar. It can get a bit stinky. Okay, I'm going to get my banner piece here, and I'm going to take our Season's Greetings sentiment, pop that here. So what I like to do with images that are meant to be straight, I just leave them on my desk for a few minutes, because if you've had them in the case not the way they're meant to sit, the photopolymer can distort, and just by leaving them sit here not connected to anything, they naturally reconform to their intended shape. So we're going to take the Misty Moonlight, ink this up, and pray, because we're doing freehand stamping here, because this Season's Greetings is handwritten, so this is someone's handwriting. And stamp that. That's done. It's a little, it's not quite in the middle up and down, but it'll do. Okay, and I am going to close both my ink pads, because we don't want to tempt fate. And this is all the stamping that we're doing on the card, so it is quite simple stamping. So some two-step stamping and then just stamping on the banner. Now, to get our flagged ends on the banner, I have used our Pick-a-Punch banners. So basically with this, you've got a banner going outy and a banner going inny. I don't know how else to describe that. Oh, yes, you have. But yeah, it's so good to have you here live. Thank you, France. I'm glad you enjoy it. I am going to cut a slither off this because I can, and I'm actually going to use my trimmer. I somehow can't do teeny straight slithers in my other trimmer, in my mini trimmer. So I'm just going to cut literal, no, I need to just push it over the teeniest bit. No, the teeniest bit more. If I cut off a bit more than what I need, you know what, I'm totally okay with that. I really want it at there. I've cut these, I need 3/4 of an inch, and I've cut them slightly off. So I'm just trying to get this, it's catching in the track. Just want it slightly under 3/4 of an inch. Come on, sit there straight. If you talk to your craft things nicely, they generally, note the word generally, conform to what you want them to do. Just want it a bit less. Do you think it's going to do what I want it to do? Like, seriously? Okay. It's being painful. Right. If I talk quietly, it may just work. I've cut it too much off, but we will make it work. Smaller is better than bigger. And I will go back to explaining Pick-a-Punch. Okay, so this is 6 punches in one. So you've got 2 different ends and 3 different widths. So the first width is 1 inch, The second indent is 3/4 of an inch, and the base of the punch is 1/2 an inch. So I have just cut this down to be slightly smaller than 3/4 of an inch, and this slides in beautifully. And I do just want to, you want to slide it in until it hits the very back of the punch, and you want it to hit the very back. Okay, and then you just squeeze or push, and you get that nice end. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other end. It helps if it's straight, because at the moment I can see it's not hitting that back plate straight. Squeeze, pull it back out if I can grab it with my fingers, and I have my flagged ends. It's not perfect, it's handmade, and that's okay. So I love it because you get 6 punches with 2 different ends. Hello, Miss Georgiana. Thank you. Those banners are smaller than the other banner punch. Yes, I will grab the other banner punch. Just let me get up and lean over. So, this is the difference between the 2 banner punches. I will grab my ruler, my handy dandy ruler. So the increments for this punch, and I'll talk in inches, because so 2 inches, 1.5, and 1. And that only does this end. So these two, so you go all, so with these 2 punches, you can go all the way from 2 inches down to 1/2 an inch. So once you get in this 1 inch channel, it's a bit harder to get it even. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's a bit of a sleeper in the mini catalogue, but it's definitely there. Now, I did forget to say, if you want any of the products that I have used today, I do have my shop link in the description. Oh, I'm glad. I try to be clear, but sometimes in my head I'm there going, am I talking gobbledygook or what? So our next step with this card is to slightly clean up, just slightly. And we are going to get out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and emboss our brushed metallic cardstock. So with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I use one of our silicone mats underneath. It just stops it rolling around on whatever surface I put it on. We open the sides, and because this is a 3D embossing folder, I don't need my thin die adapter, so it tells me on the plate that I need the plate and the grey specialty plate, which is number 4. So it says I need number 1, number 4, and the paper and the embossing folder. So here we go. I always seem to like this really tall tree, but I'm going to do something really, really different today and choose the other end of the folder. So just pop it in there. It doesn't matter if it's not straight. No tree grows straight in nature. Close it over. Now, if you want it embossed, you want the Stampin' Up! Logo going up with your cardstock going in the correct direction as well. If you want it debossed, you want to flip your your shiny metallic cardstock so it's on the back. I accidentally on purpose, who really knows, did that in my class. And they went, oh, I like that. So then they had the choice of the embossed or the debossed. Now, I always make sure my embossing folders go in seam first. So it puts less pressure on the seam and over time it won't crack and the folder won't break. So literally crank it through and we're done. We're done. Embossing is one of the most easiest way to add texture to your project. Sorry, I'm just being neat and putting this all away exactly as it should be. So then I don't have a crafter lunch later. Okay. You ready for the ta-da? Because I left you hanging. And ta-da, in one pass, we have that beautiful texture. Just from a piece of plastic. So the machine puts the pressure on the paper and conforms it to the shape of the folder, which is pretty funky and cool. It does curl just a bit, but I literally just curl it back. And that's straight because it's paper, and that is our folder. We are literally ready to pop our projects together. So I do have my Just Jade. Oh no, I do need one more thing, but I'll fold our card base, which is Just Jade, with my burn folder, which I use every single project. And this one I got engraved for an on-stage event a very, very long time ago, and it has my team name on it. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight ribbon. Now this is our in colour ribbon, and I do just pop a pin in mine so they're easier to deal with in my storage. If you do want to see how I store my ribbons, I do have a video up on my YouTube channel actually. And if you search Stampin Storage, or I think I have a playlist actually of, oops, my rulers are in the way of my little carousel spinning here. I do have a playlist on YouTube entitled Stampin Storage, and that is where you will find or majority of my storage solutions. So this is just our ribbon, so you can have a closer look here. It's like a twill type material. It's just called our 2020 to 2022 in colour ribbon. So it comes in the 5 in colours, which is Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, and Bumblebee. Now, I am going to put this pin back in and you girls can watch me struggle, because this is actually getting shorter. See, I've already dropped the pin. Already dropped it. But for the struggle, it is worth them not unraveling in my storage. So I do not pin my satin ribbons. I just pin the ones that won't show the pinhole. So even though I have a little end there, it's not going to unravel, and that's all good. We are going to use a lot of glue dots in the assembly of this card, so just bear with me here. I know. It is magic, Cindy. It is absolute magic. I am going to use some... Do you know what I'm going to use? And this worked really well in a card that I did. I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal Plus, and this worked really, really well. This is a bit stickier. Oops. I must have accidentally flicked this or ticked it instead of flipping it. So let's see. Aha, there we go. Right, so this likes to adhere really nicely over this embossing, where I have found that the Stampin' Seal, the normal Stampin' Seal, likes to skip over, and I think it's the smooth backing of the foil paper. But the Seal Plus is amazing, and I'll show you the Seal Plus because it has little perforations in the actual adhesive. So hopefully you can see those perforations. It just means I lose all my wiggle room, and this card may not be straight. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you about, and I've noticed this with a couple of our cardstocks, and I have decided it's the dye in the paper. So our Misty Moonlight and our Basic Black especially like to fray on the edges, and I thought I needed a new blade, and I didn't, because I did actually need a new blade, but it didn't make a difference when I was cutting this cardstock. It didn't make a difference at all. If you have a guillotine, or you can use a sanding block, or you can run your scissors up the side of your paper just to get rid of the fuzzies. It is, friends, it is so, so, so lovely. Thank you, Catherine. I'm glad you like this. I like this too. So I'm going to get to this stage, and then I'm going to go to my other card, which is in a similar state of assembly, and get all my cards to the same state. So just hang with me, and I'll show you how to put this embellishment together momentarily. Now for this card, oh no, okay, so that's that embellishment already done. That's the second piece. It's here at the back, that's why. Oh no, these two are up to the same. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing and where I'm going. It all makes sense. The assembly helps if I can get this out of the envelope, hey. So the assembly for this card, I assembled everything on the foil first. So just bear with me. Bone folder back this way. Right. Hello, Miss Jenny. Okay. Done. And because I have kind of done the hard work, just going to do some snipping here and some snipping there. Right. So this one is, I want to call this the bronze and this the copper. So you can see the difference, and this background is the one I debossed. So I will put side by side the difference between the embossed and the debossed. So you can see that there. I'll make sure I've showed it properly as I put down the Seal Plus, which is uber strong and great for these embossed backgrounds. Just my replay is a titch behind, but I'll keep my eyes out. Yes, you can hopefully see the difference of the, you kind of can see the difference. Tell me if you want me to show you the embossed and the debossed again, because I can show you. And my fingers are stuck to the Seal Plus. Look, it's so strong. It really is. 1, 2, right, I'm off. Pop up the tinsiest bit. Make sure that's straight. That is pretty good. Great. Yeah, they do both look equally great, Jenny. I certainly don't have a preference. It's just I went, oops, I did this. Hey girls, if you want this, I didn't even mean to do it. It was a happy accident. And then I could tell the girls, if you want this, do it this way. If you want that, do it the other way, which I shared with you while I was doing the embossing. And my watch is telling me it's time to stand up. So that is one card done, because that was an easy stick. Okay, I'll chuck that one over there. Let's grab this silicone mat I had before, because we're working with a lot of glue dots, as I said earlier. So we don't want our hoop sticking to our paper, and we don't want it losing its stick. So oh, this is already stuck down. Okay, that's already done. Right, you are. And I think I'm missing a tree. I think I'm missing a set of trees, which is in that envelope. Yep, they're there. Awesome. So I start with my sentiment, and I start on the hoop, and I'm just going to pull off 2 glue dots and put one approximately there, and put one approximately straight on the other side. Okay, no one's going to see these glue dots, so it doesn't matter how well or not well you've put them on. And then what we do is we put on our pre-stamped and pre-punched sentiment, just like that. Ta-da! It's done. Please excuse me, I need to have a drink. I'm getting quite a dry throat. And I really wanted to case this idea and show you, you don't need to use the hoops just as a wreath, because you naturally want to use hoops for a wreath, but I wanted to case this card to show you that you can use it just as a circular element on a card as well. So there we go. I'm using a mixture of our normal Stampin' dimensionals and dimensionals to adhere our trees. Okay, so I'm finished with my dimensionals. I'm just going to use a couple of mini dimensionals here, just so we don't have saggy tops to our trees. Now I've got the hiccups after having my water. I do apologise. They're fairly silent hiccups, but they're annoying all the same. Okay, so 6 little and bigger dimensionals there. So they are our hoop and our tree elements. Now we just need to add our ribbon. Oh, that is way too long. That's okay, someone cut me that ribbon in class, but that's fine. What we are going to do is use glue dots to pop this down. So you can put your glue dots on the ribbon, or you can put your glue dots directly onto the card, just like that. And then I'm just going to eyeball it across here. I'm not going to worry about the middle because it's going to be under the hoop anyway. And we just pop it. Do you know what? Hopefully this is more than the width of the card. You're awesome, Helen. Thank you. If you're watching this replay, Helen, thank you for cutting this piece of ribbon longer than the card. So I'm just going to make this one like this, and then I'm going to take my hoop and I'm going to add 2 more glue dots. Now these glue dots are going on the back of the hoop to adhere it to the card, and because the hoops are so lightweight, that's all we need to do to adhere it onto the card. It's not going to fall anywhere or do anything. Trust me. I don't know if you do trust me, but I hope you do. So that is adhered down nicely. Okay, I'm just going to trim off this excess ribbon here if I don't cut my nail at the same time. Move my nail out of the way. Right, so is that done? Now we are going to take our trees, and would you believe there are no extra sparkly little embellishments on this card, because we've used so much metallic with the hoop and the brushed metallic cardstock. It doesn't need it. I've made a couple of cards recently that I haven't added any additional embellishments, and it kind of felt wrong. It actually really felt wrong. It's like, it's not one of my cards unless I add a little something to it. So what we are going to do is you can pop these over or under our sentiment, whichever you prefer. I do like them over just to connect them to our project. And then that also further sandwiches our hoop down, and it's not going anywhere. So that is card number 2 done. Bring in our last card here and do our ribbon again and do the rest, and then I will do a direct comparison of the difference between the darker and the lighter metallic cardstock and how the hoop. Oh, bye, Jenny. So sorry, I missed you there. Oh, the cleaner's there. I had a big spring clean yesterday, and I don't know if any of you guys have noticed something has reappeared that I lost in April, and it was found under my lounge, deep under my lounge yesterday. So there's something that I'm wearing that I loved and I've had for 20 years, and that had been lost for over 6 months. And the guys that came and did my spring clean, I gave him the biggest hug ever, because not only does it have sentimental value, it will cost nearly, well, it cost a lot more to replace in today's money than what it costs to buy. And yeah, my bangle, that's right, Kathy, my bangle is back. So yeah, I just saw it. I'd been in a couple of meetings while they were here yesterday. Oh my god, that scared the bejeebers out of me. Oh, I didn't swear when that happened, girls. Can we all be proud? Please be proud I didn't swear. I jumped well though. Yes, so yeah, I pretty much cried because it has such value. And I was going to go to the jewellers, and my jeweller, who I went to primary school with, and which is you girls in America elementary school. Hey, Deb. And I was going to say to him, take in like all my old stones and like out of rings that I don't wear, because you can only wear so many rings. Because I need to get rings resized so I can wear them again, like my wedding and engagement ring, you know, just that special one at least. Yeah, so I was going to take it in and go, how much would it be to remake this bangle, and can I put all these stones into it, blah, blah, blah. And then he found it. Lucas found my bangle yesterday, but it also needs resizing. So I'll take it off in a second and I'll show you, because I've worn it pretty exclusively for 20 years. And I'm not the most delicate person in the world. I've actually bent it, so it's actually more of an oval on my arm than a circle on my arm. So you know how I said I didn't stamp this, right? Once I put the trees on, it doesn't matter whether your stamping's crooked or straight, it's just there. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So see how it's oval rather than circle? The bends, like the wave in my bangle, was always there. So it's a wave shape. But yeah, I need to get it made round, and if not, possibly smaller. Oh good, I'm glad you jumped too. I don't know, David must have gone outside and didn't close the back door behind him. And we've got other windows in the house open at the moment, so just the air pressure. Sorry girls. David would apologise had he have realised what he did. But I can't even hear where he is. Okay, so let's do that comparison for you between the dark, which the gold hoop really pops on, and this is the lighter than the gold. So we've got the shade darker and the shade lighter than the gold, and you can see how that hoop really pops on both. I do prefer the darker. I don't know why. It's sort of like a dusk or sunrise scene with the darker, but I like the lighter too. Ah, do you? Now, I just need to find out. No, I seem to be okay. Apparently my replay has frozen here. So hopefully not everyone else was kicked off at the same time. How am I going for time? Not doing too badly. Let's see if I can get this back up. Thank you. They are fantastic. I have enjoyed making these, and they were a quick make. They really were. They didn't take long for me to make recently. So yes, I will pop both of these up and I will go through, because I've gone through as we've gone, what we've used, but I will go through all of that again. And now the cards are on the floor because I created a craft lunch, and try not and scratch them while I'm here. So we've used the Evergreen Forest embossing folder. We used the In the Pine stamp set and the matching Pine Woods dies. We have used the gold hoops. Let me slide those in there. We used the gold hoops, and we have used the In Colour ribbon, as well as, let's slide this in here, as well as the Pick-a-Punch, the Pick-a-Punch banners. And the colours we used, because I can't fit them in now, but the colours we used were Just Jade and Night of Navy, which are our 2020-2022 in colours. So that's what we've used. I'm glad you've liked those, Denise. I love them too. I think you're with me when I made this card. Well, not with me. I wish you were with me, but you live a bit too far away. Bit too far away. So thank you, girls. Have an amazing weekend. Next week, I really need to go live on Thursday, because Friday I will be out all day, because on stage, which is the Demonstrator event, it's training, celebration, just being together event is happening. and it is going from like 9 till 4 next Friday, so I will be out. Yes, thank goodness for the internet. And happy Australian birthday, Denise. I know I've already sung you happy birthday, but I just need to say happy Australian birthday. So yes, my week next week is crazy. I will endeavour to the best of my ability to be on twice, but please give me some grace if I can't, just because my week imploded yesterday. Oh, it's so good about the internet that even though we can't be together in venues, we can be together virtually. And I'm just waiting. I received my centre stage gift yesterday, and I'm not going to show it. But I received my centre stage gift yesterday, and I'm just waiting for my swag bag. Oh no, Deb, at least it's not as bad as when we had the Leaders Summit recently. Deb, I was up at 3 a.m. because it was everyone around the world in the same time zone, like in the same event. That was pretty horrendous. But anyway, where was I going? I don't know. Oh yes, because our centre stage gifts and our swag bags, for those who purchased them in Australia, they've been caught up in Sydney because there's been a port workers dispute, and the port workers have been working through the oh, that's so good, Margine. I'm glad. The port workers have been on a go slow with the containers coming into the port. So swag bags have started arriving. I know people in my local area, a couple of them have received them this week, but I've got one part but not the other. So I swear I paid for a swag bag. Maybe I need to go and check if I did actually pay for a swag bag. That might be next on my agenda, but I need to wipe down the kitchen and vacuum the floor first because housework needs to be done. So have an amazing weekend. I do endeavour to see you twice next week before on stage, and then I can show you my on stage projects that I make with the Dandy Garden paper and Dragonfly Garden stamp set. Have an amazing weekend. I'm going to stop rabbiting on and procrastinating about my housework. If you need any of these products, please grab the link in my store. Don't forget to like and subscribe, thumbs up, all those things so people can find me here on Facebook and on YouTube. Be good, and I'll see you later. Bye, girls.